Hi everybody, this is Delmar here, and welcome everyone to the 6th annual Mullins Studios Q&A video thingamagummy. A couple years ago, we did a little live audio stream with many of my good friends, and that was a lot of fun, and I figured we'd do that again, so everyone knows who I am. So the person that's sitting next to me, which is my brother, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, this is Black Cross here.
You want to introduce like anything about your channel, or?
I've mostly been playing PlayStation 2 and then reviewing video games. That's basically what I've been doing thus far.
Oh, okay. And then next to me is Lockie. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Lockie. I am that Australian guy that somehow works his way into pretty much everything Daniel does.
Yes.
You're the reason the movie's taking so long.
Yes, I am. Sorry.
We're getting there.
The mindset of a perfectionist.
Yeah. Anyway, now next up, NBC. Introduce yourself.
Greetings and beyond the new. This is NBC Mekachu. You guys might know me for a couple of things. I've worn many a hat in the past few years. Some of you might know me for the work that I've done on a show called DDDZ. For those of you who aren't familiar with DDDZ, basically think of it like Kirby Right Back Atcha with an abridged, except there's no visuals, it's just like audio files and a thumbnail. And aside from that, I've also played the roles of Khalil and Dad Carrot on Vegeta's Abridged. Aside from that, I've also, Delmar, if you in post-edit add this bit here, I was the one responsible for that one joke in Thomas Meets $3 which involved Thomas and Birdie playing Mario Kart. And I've also done a bit of voice work for him in one episode. What was the episode again?
Willakamon Karu.
Yeah, that's the one.
And
I ended up voicing
me beating
2
you up.
employees.
Yeah.
I told you, I only had a few seconds over.
My teacher did not allow me to run 2 seconds late to school either. I'm sure you'll see that out either.
Mr. Gamboo, you got your macaroons up on the tabletop.
Chris is now crying on my shoulder from laughter.
I think there's one more, isn't there?
Yes. Doctor, introduce yourself.
Hey mates, it's the Doctor here, and you may know me for the guy in charge of the last few Thomas Meets series, episodes, I should say. Angry Joe, there was Aussie Man, and I provided some of the jokes for As the Movie 3, and also our next one is going to be Thomas Meets Catechurus 2.
Wait. Hold the horse. When was there an Astif movie 3 for Thomas Meets? I thought there was only 2 of them.
No, I meant question mark 3. Some of the jokes are question mark 3, and I came up with As Def Movie 2.
There we go.
Okay.
Take for what you mean, not for what you say.
All right.
Yeah, the other thing I want to introduce about myself is some of you guys watching this may know me as the writer and narrator for the Sodor series by Chance Attractive 525, who has a perfect model layout of the island of Sodor.
And who's currently working on the narrow gauge layout as well, ain't he?
He's working on the narrow gauge layouts, and there goes my dog. I don't know if you heard that, but
I heard
we're also working on episode 8 at the same time. The sneak peek has yet to be uploaded, but I've
Isn't
sent
that
my
one
lines
going
in.
to be on Duck?
Yep. We have a plot twist in episode 8 that basically ties it to the main story of the Sodor series. So, yeah, you guys can check it out. And, yeah, that's me.
Okay,
All right, everyone,
a lot of... Go ahead, Lachlan.
That's the last member of the Delmar crew. Huh.
Alright, so I guess we can go ahead and start with this thing. Did I send everyone the questions for Discord, or...?
Yeah, we did.
I got him.
I got him.
Okay, then, so...
Well, okay, seeing this is your Q&A, I think it's appropriate you start us off.
Well, technically, the doctor, he was going to read this question off first, so, yes, begin.
Oh.
So, the first question comes from John the TV Fan, 1001 Productions. He asks, will you do Thomas and Friends Meets Angry Video Game Nerd?
I used to... It's kind of like with my Nostalgia Critic, like, I loved Angry Video Game Nerd. In fact, he was one of the big inspirations for me to get into retro gaming. But in terms of, like, because I have been sort of being careful, like, stuff I watch, like, I stopped watching a lot of adult shows like South Park, Nostalgia Critic, Rick and Morty, and I tried watching a few AVGN episodes to attempt to write jokes, and I had a hard time trying to watch a couple of episodes because I just can't watch super vulgar stuff anymore. So, the possibility of an AVGN episode is very slim.
Yeah, and I did try watching some of Angry Video Game Nerds, and it's nothing against the guy himself. It's just couldn't really think of a lot of jokes to do a Thomas Meets on Angry Video Game Nerd. And that's kind of a thing with any other YouTuber that we're not familiar with. Like, for example, Strimes49, I think, is another one that people have been requesting, and never heard of a guy, but it just makes it more difficult. Like, what are the running jokes with this person? Like, for example, with Angry Joe, I know one of his running jokes is it was that looked good, so I knew there was something I could do with that for Thomas Meets Angry Joe 2. Yeah, it's difficult looking into Thomas Meets random YouTuber that we haven't seen. But that said, there's one particular YouTuber, we're not going to announce it yet, but he's another highly requested YouTuber we want to do, people want to do Thomas Meets of, and I think it can work.
Yeah, I've been having a blast with his jokes, so...
Yeah, we're keeping it a secret, though.
Yeah, it's a secret to everybody. Okay,
Good.
Next question.
We won't have any leakers.
Yay! The next question, I guess it's my turn. Which Thomas and Friends characters do you want to see in the CGI series that haven't yet? Ironically, I'm actually going to make a vlog about this. But one character I would love to see is Molly. I know that's weird, but I mean...
Hey, you aren't the only one.
Yeah, well, with Molly, I know her character personality is like she's sensitive and shy, so I imagine a perfect pair where like you get Rebecca, who is a people person and loves to talk to everybody, and then you got Molly, who is shy and sensitive and worried. So I think that would be an interesting character pair up that I would love to see happen.
Plus, I'm pretty sure since they're both yellow, you'd have your two golden girls.
People always...
The obligatory blonde chick.
Exactly.
There's always people who say, "Oh, Molly and Rebecca are the same character. Why did they bother introducing Rebecca? She's literally the same character as Molly." Are we watching the same episode?
I don't think Rebecca and Molly are the same at all. I don't think they have the same personality.
Yeah.
I swear, Rebecca's personality, from what I've seen, is probably the most misunderstood character in fiction this side of Ash Ketchum from Poke.
Plus, Rebecca's probably like one of the best characters introduced in the CGI series.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's alright.
She reminds me of Compa, and that makes me happy.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I just want to say that one of the plans I want to do for my YouTube channel is create a playlist of people posting their top 10 best episodes of the Andrew Brenner era now that Andrew Brenner has left. And can you guys hear a cricket behind me? There's a very loud cricket.
I haven't heard a cricket.
I hear nothing of the sort.
I haven't heard
I'm just
anything.
gonna close my window.
It's like, attack the crickets!
Apparently there was a swarm of crickets that invaded Vegas not long ago.
Oh great, it's Exodus all over again. Oh wait, that was with Locust, never mind.
Aren't locusts and crickets technically the same? I mean, to some
Sort
degree.
of. Appearance-wise, they look like they're from the same genus.
Exactly. That's what made me think.
Okay, I thought you said the same Genesis. It's like, wait, you skipped a boat.
So, okay, just to end this question. No, it wasn't part of a question, but what I was saying, that I'm planning to make a playlist of top 10 best and worst Andrew Brenner episodes that other people be posting on YouTube. Like, I'm going to post my own, and Delmar, you're going to post your best episodes of the Andrew Brenner era.
Yeah, which that'll come later because I got a couple episodes I need to film. I've been waking up on the Delmar Show episode pile for a while. So, anyway, next question, Chris. I'll get you ask this question.
Okay, what's your Discord tag?
I don't want to have like 500 people on, so I've been meaning to make a Mullins Studios Discord group, kind of like how Milan has his Milan Toon channel, so I need to ask him again how to do that, but once I do, then I will announce that it's a group, and then I can add people, but for my personal Discord, I don't want to have 500 people and me log in, all of a sudden 50 calls. It's like, hi, wait, who are you people? Who are you people?
Honestly,
I
I'm
can see why that would be an issue. That's
I'm
why I
lucky
haven't
enough
shared
if I
my
was able to get a
Discord
hold of ya.
name.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, Lockie, I think it's your turn.
What is favorite music artist?
Oh boy, here we go. I'm gonna only list 3 of my personal favorite like music groups and such. One is Jim Crow. He wrote songs like "Time in the Bottle," "Operator," "That's Not the Way It Feels," "Bad Bad Leroy
Nice.
Brown." Next favorite artist is Elton John. You could probably think Rocket Man because I just really fell in love with his music. My personal favorite song of his is "I Want Love," and then the next group is Huey Lewis and the News because their music is really funky. Yes, I said funky. Shut up.
What's the deal if you sing funky anyway?
I
I
don't
never
know.
understood that.
It's been eons. I can't remember. I guess because funky may be an off term for today's audience.
For the record, that's not one of the questions.
Oh, okay.
Personally, my favorite artist is The Wiggles. Don't judge me! And also, we have finished
fine.
the first
I respect your judgment on
finished the
Wiggles.
first row of questions, and
Wait a second. What about the Beatles?
Yeah, the Beatles are cool too. I love the Beatles. Anyways, that's the first 4 questions, and that
I guess I'll
took a while.
tackle-
Maybe we should.
Okay, then.
these questions are from.
I'll take this one. Joseph Cavanargo, sorry if I butchered your name, says, "Will you do a Delmar show episode?"
On Meta Runner. I only spoiler alerts. Once I hit episode 100, I'm planning on kind of stopping the Delmar show, just because, well, I think 100 episodes is good. But I do like Meta Runner, except I need to finish the series. We're like what episode were we on, Chris?
I believe we was on like episode 4. I believe.
Yeah, we still need to finish it.
What did I miss?
But Meta Runner is like it's a series by SMG4.
Yeah, you said something about the Delmar show. I had to secure my door for a little bit. What were you saying?
Once I hit episode 100, I'm planning on kind of stopping the Delmar show, and I've already listed
Okay, honestly, I have.
Are you okay?
As long as you're talking, as long as you're bringing it up, I do have a confession to make.
What's that?
I am way behind on watching the Delmar show.
Well, I'm not expecting you guys to watch every single video I make.
Yeah, you know something. You know something, Daniel. I'm willing to bet you're going to bring that to Delmar show, just like Thomas Meets when you said you're not going to do Thomas Meets anymore.
Well, I mean, just for the time, I got enough
I think-
for episode 100, which would be on Epic Mickey, because that's been something I've been wanting to do for eons.
Yeah, I understand if you wanted to have a bit of a hiatus for it, but to end it off completely, I feel like, I mean, personally, I feel like there's more to it that you could do, but at the same time, like you said, I'm pretty sure that show has been around as long as the channel itself.
Pretty much. So, yeah, I think it's just, I'll do like a hiatus on episode 100. So we'll just do that. But in terms of Meta Runner, I like it, but I don't think I could do a whole Delmar show episode of it.
You could probably
Basically,
have, like,
stop.
Epic Mickey be like the season 1 finale, and then season 2 would probably start off fresh or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Wait, are you still on season 1? Because if so, God, that is a long season.
I never really had seasons intended, so it's just...
Metaphorically,
Okay,
though.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
All right. So, next question, and I think we kind of already answered this. Do you like Meta Runner?
Yes,
Yes.
it's good. It's funny. My favorite character is the Coconut Boy.
Want a Sprite
Go.
Cranberry?
I never have Cranberry Sprite, but
I
we
believe
have...
that question's been asked last time. in the
no.
Q&A.
No one hasn't
I
answered
don't
that
think
yet.
I don't think it was. Want a Sprite? I don't think that question was asked in the last Q&A because I don't think that was a meme yet.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
have
I'm
had
pretty sure
Sprite
that
Cherry. Was it Cherry, Chris, that we liked?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the Sprite Cherry, that one's extremely good. In fact, funny story, we first got the Sprite cherry like 2 years ago at our store, and for some reason, for the longest time, it was hard to find. And it's like, why is it gone? Why is everything that we love is gone? And it's just, but I never had a...
So basically anything Thomas related in the toy aisle of a Walmart, Target, or whatever store you have.
Yes.
Seriously, Mattel, what the heck?
Oh dear.
Mattel is not handling this franchise well.
See.
Alright,
I
so
just want to list my favorite characters in Metarana. My favorite characters in Metarana, there's Lux, who's a villain, and I forget his name, but he helps the blue hair, the main character.
Tari?
What's his?
Tari?
He helps out Tari.
Isn't Lux the
I forget his name.
axolotl-looking
Basically,
guy?
those two. Let me finish.
Sorry.
Lux and the other guy who I'm trying to think of, I like him because they have the deepest voices for men.
The deepest...
They're just so deep sounding.
The deepest voices.
Okay.
Lux, you're kind of freaking me out.
And now everyone's trying to go for a deep voice.
I'm Batman!
There was a long silence.
Venom.
Anyway, yes, continue on. Do you own a Nintendo Switch? Yes, moving on.
Alright, next batch of questions come from
Fire Dust asks, this is kind of random, but did you ever own any of the early 90s Thomas and Friends VHS tapes that feature the infamous Stranded Home...
Strand Home.
Strand Home video logo at the beginning and end of the tape? If so, did that logo ever scare you as a kid?
Oh, you mean a...
That 3 questions in one, or 2 questions in one.
I mean, I owned the Daisy VHS tape, and I never was really all that bugged out by it.
Yeah, I thought...
when it showed up.
The music was kind of epic. It never really scared me that much.
I
Maybe
honestly don't remember the logo.
Maybe it's kind of like one of those irrational fears to certain things. Like, for example, when I was a kid, I had a bit of an irrational fear for the THX logo.
THX? Oh, you mean the...
Yes, that one.
Is now dead.
when I was a kid, I think vaguely remembering the Wiggles movie. There was a bit where there was an opera singer and he was like, "Aah!" And the face he made freaked me the hell out as a kid.
I don't know,
And
the
as a
puppets
result-
you showed me, Lachlan,
Yeah,
scared
I
the
was gonna
crap
say,
out of me.
puppets.
You being the
actually
Wiggles
haven't seen-
fanatic, I thought you'd be terrified of those.
Here's the thing though. As a kid, I only saw the clip with the Wiggles puppets once, and you know something? It had no effect on me.
I mean, it didn't really affect me either, but I could definitely see the creep factor from certain people's perspectives.
Doesn't help the fact that you showed me your photo album when you went to the Wiggles Museum exhibit that they had in Australia, and they have one of the puppets displayed, and it's like,
Are you
evil!
talking the Powerhouse
the exhibit
Museum?
Yeah, the Powerhouse Museum. It's still got the Wiggles exhibit there. Here's the thing, though. They don't have the puppet there anymore.
Good.
Huh.
Honestly, it looked like the face was chipping a bit, so I'm not surprised that they took it off the shelf.
Oh. Okay.
I only know about the Powerhouse Museum because I know Leo Kim Video did a video on that back around the 2014s.
Oh yeah, I've been to the Wiggles exhibit at the Powerhouse Museum 3 times.
Okay, let's keep going because I have to leave in an hour.
Oh yeah, that's right. Lucky, go
Crunch
on.
time.
What are your thoughts on Illumination doing an animated Super Mario Brothers movie? Do you think they're a good fit, or would you rather have chosen Disney, DreamWorks, Warner Brothers, or Studio Ghibli to do the film? Really?
What?
You really think Studio Ghibli would do a movie based on a video game?
It could happen, but I personally, I'm not gonna say everything Illumination makes is golden, but I think they're a good animation studio. I love the film of the Grinch, the Despicable Me movies,
Really?
not counting Minions.
No one should really count Minions.
Yeah, Despicable Me is good. Despicable Me 2 is also good. Despicable Me 3 is okay at best. Minions is crap.
And
The less we talk about the
Secret-
Lorax, the better.
Oh yeah, so
Lorax.
I mean, then not all the films are good, but there are some that I like. So And with the fact that Nintendo and Universal have always had like a good working relationship, and since they own Illumination, I mean, I think they could do a good job with Mario, but we don't know. We'll have to wait and see till 2022. Is that when the film is supposed to be released or something?
So chances are 2021 we'll see a sneak peek trailer of it.
Yeah, so...
Oh, and it can't be worse than the Grinch.
Besides,
can I just
owns
say...
DreamWorks too, so...
I'm sorry. I just have to say, the Grinch in the Grinch in this new version of the Grinch, he does not feel like a Grinch. He feels like a mildly ill-tempered man. That is not the Grinch I know. All right?
Yeah, but I'm sorry. About other animated studios, can I just ask, do you really trust Disney the way they've handled Star Wars?
Yeah, I have to agree with Jed on that.
Not touching
The
that.
other thing...
Not touching it.
Also, Incredibles 2 sucked.
Oh, it was
I didn't
okay.
like it.
It was alright. It wasn't the best, but it was alright.
Next.
I
next
liked the
question.
Jack and the squirrel wrestling, so that was funny.
Do you plan to get the Eon HDMI adapters for the N64 GameCube?
Yes, and how much is it again?
I know it's over $70, but I can't remember exact price.
Yeah, so that one I will have to say I would like to, but I gotta ask my bank accountant, and he will probably say no.
What do you think of Thomas and Friends meet... I have Thomas and Meets on the mind. Thomas and Friends, Steam Team to a Rescue. Personally, I really didn't like it. I thought it was okay because it's a Steam Team as a team. I mean, things got really hectic from what I remember.
I honestly just kind of dropped off of the show after like season 20. Not because I don't like it, it's just I haven't had the time or willingness to really watch the show.
I tried to watch Steam Team Rescue. I watched it all the way, and I don't remember much of it. Like, there was a lot of scenes that I just thought they went a bit too far. Like, you see all the crates piling up in Brenham Docks, and the way the Salty fell in the sea. It's like, it was a bit too campy, and I just don't really remember much of it, unfortunately. It was definitely one of the more weaker episodes of the series.
And then there's the big Mickey scenes.
Actually, Steam Team to the Rescue, I thought was pretty good, but I've only really got like 3 problems with it. One, when a crate almost falls off the dock, Cranky uses like the cheat like reflexes to catch the crate midair before it falls. But when Salty is slowly falling off the quay, Cranky's all like, "Stop! Don't come back."
Yeah. As I was saying, I haven't seen it. I'll probably have to make a note of trying to watch it if I can remember to do.
I am planning on doing like my. Oh, go ahead.
My other 2 problems is, the little toys on the Fat Controller's desk. How some of them are literally just smaller versions of the actual rolling stock. Are you really that lazy? No, it's not. I don't blame laziness. I blame Mattel for rushing you. And the final issue I have with the film is when the Fat Controller says, "Oh, Thomas, there simply aren't enough engines." And I remember when he said that, I think I actually said, "Bullshit!"
You have an entire backlog worth of railway locomotives on the sidelines that you could use outside of that.
Yeah, that's one of the problems I have with it.
Spoiler alert, I am planning on doing like my 10 least favorite episodes, and you'll probably see Steam Team to the Rescue on there. Just saying.
I gotta say though, Don't Stop, awesome song, love it.
Although I kept thinking of the Dragon Ball Z, it's like, don't stop, we're in luck now, don't stop, there's so much to be done.
Seriously though,
That song was by Vic Mignogna.
Seriously though, Michael White, please save this show, and apologies on behalf of the entire fan base for any fans that may annoy you. Okay, next questions.
Now we're on to Ackley Attack TV.
Okay, so my turn. Okay, so given to what you've done on the Delmar show for the past few years already, what video games, movies, TV shows are you gonna plan on reviewing for 2020? I got 3 episodes that I'm ready to film. I got the notes organized. Like the ones I'm planning on doing for the next 3 episodes are like on What's in the Bible with Buck Denver, because that was a really good show. I'm planning on
Oh, you
re-reviewing.
mean the VeggieTales the successor to VeggieTales, right?
Yeah. Then I'm gonna re-review Mickey Speedway USA, and then I'm almost done playing New Super Lucky's Tale on the Nintendo Switch. And that game I'm loving so much.
Yeah, and to make the Delmar show more entertaining, Daniel and I have an unspoken agreement that he never uses my suggestions for episodes.
Wait, really?
Well, I assumed. I mean, to be fair, I've only really ever pitched 2 ideas for episodes to you, but thinking back, are they really good ideas?
I can't remember. It's been eons. After 9 years on YouTube, your mind becomes as frail as butterscotch.
What is it that you really enjoy about making Thomas comedies aside from the whole writing process?
Given the fact that it's been a long time since we made an actual Thomas comedy, was stuck on something that has been physically and mentally scarring me to death. Honestly, I just also like getting in touch with like Lachlan and the doctor and just discussing ideals and all that stuff. It's just mostly writing. Like with season 2, once we get the movie done, and I'm trying to get back into writing, that's just still my favorite whole part about writing Thomas comedies and just, you know, making fun of episodes and everything.
Yeah, exchanging ideas, see what kind of parodies, reviews we could do.
Yay!
Okay, third
yes.
question.
If you haven't played it yet, are you hoping to check out Untitled Goose Game?
I've been debating on it. It just seems too weird, I have to say. But a lot of people have been saying it's a really good game, so I might check it out. I just think it's... The only thing that I really know about Untitled Goose Game is the Benson and Beaker bit in the Video Game Awards. That one
I was gonna ask you
funny.
that.
That was way
I
too
completely
funny.
forgot about that.
That was good.
Apparently the scene... You know, I heard that apparently the scenery in the game was actually inspired by shows like Postman Pat, Fireman Sam, and yes, I am not kidding here, Thomas and Friends.
Really?
Interesting.
Ooh.
Well, I now have to get the
Makes
game
sense.
now.
Makes sense because all of those being UK based.
Yeah, so, alright, yep, I'm getting the game. No questions asked.
Potato chips or cabbages? Side note, if you don't answer this question in less than 0.25 seconds, your brother Black Cross will go into a coma in the next 5 minutes. Oh wait, scratch that. Better make it 10.
Potato chips!
Thank you. I was about to say, if you don't
What
answer
flavor?
that soon, I do not want to miss out on anything.
Well, you might take a nice nap, but then Grover would be like, why is Papa sleeping on the chair?
I mean, no offense, by the time
It's
this
big-
video gets released, we're practically close to the Remind DLC, so I do not want to miss that.
Also, potato chips versus cabbage. No friggin' competition. Who would choose cabbage?
I mean, there might
Yes,
be some
you
sick
need to eat your
people.
veggies.
If you
Okay.
can't eat your pudding, you can't have any meat.
Wait, there are no meat on potato chips.
That's the other way around.
Not while
Okay,
I'm drinking.
now the questions by
Alright.
Buddy King 717.
Okay, this one isn't really much of a question, but it's more a suggestion. I know you love Disney. I was hoping you would do a review on one of my favorite games, Mickey Mouse and the Magical Quest 1, 2, and 3 for Super Nintendo. They're made by Capcom and very enjoyable, and I know you will love them. I've heard of Magical Quest. I haven't got to play them yet. But I will check them out definitely, because I love Mickey Mouse. And I love Epic Mickey. It's an amazing game.
I'm sorry, Buddy King, but that was technically not a question, so therefore your comment will be stricken from the record.
Next!
Okay, I guess we're going on to my lot now.
So you got like,
Alright.
I guess you ask all these NBC.
I mean, it makes sense. an animated movie you consider to be
What I consider to be underrated?
Take all the time you need for this one. I was kind of.
Can I answer my list? I can name 5.
Well, just mention one, the Doctor.
If I had to name one underrated animated movie, it would be Ninja Batman. It's a CGI anime movie by the writers of Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, and honestly, Japanese Joker sounds a lot like Mark Hamill Joker.
Honestly, that was actually really
Also,
good. I've seen that.
And half the
one, I love
movie
it.
is the climax. It's just non-stop action when you get to the second half.
Is it Ninja
Ninja
Batman
Batman.
based off of the story of Nobunaga's invasion of Japan?
It's,
Oh no.
I'm about to say it's set around that time frame, I think, but
Alright, let me just say what I think is an underrated movie is Klaus. Anyone who has access to Netflix, frickin' watch Klaus.
It's
Yeah,
amazing. I
good.
love Klaus.
really good.
And now, Daniel, you answer it.
I got way too many movies, but for me,
Should I bring our shelf?
no,
here?
no. We don't have time to move the entire shelf, but
Take your
personally,
time, Delmar.
the first film that immediately comes to mind is Fantastic Mr. Fox, because not a whole lot of people still have talked about it, and it's already been 10 years since it went to theaters, but that one,
Holy
I
crap, you're
love
right.
that movie. It is amazing.
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is a good movie. I've seen it a couple of times and I like it. And honestly, I really gotta see Isle of Dogs.
That one's good too.
I loved Fantastic Mr. Fox. I remember there was a time where I watched it so many times, I knew all the lines for it verbatim.
The cuss you did.
By the way, speaking
cussing
of
me?
stop-motion animated movies, The Missing Link that came out in 2019 won the Oscar for Best Animated Movie.
Suck on that, Disney!
Oh, you, Disney!
Sad thing is, me and Delmar still need to
That's
watch
2
that.
years in a row. No Disney Oscar winners.
Hooray!
That's 2 years in a row now.
Yeah, you got enough awards, Disney. As well as you've got enough
Money.
friggin'
If you were to meet anyone from the TTTE community from the early days of YouTube's infancy, i.e. Joey Turner, Miss Oliver Blossom, Trainboy 7, etc., in person, which would be your pick, and for what?
And for what reasons? Technically, I have met Joey Turner once. It was when it was Lachlan's birthday, and it was him, Joey Turner, and who else was on there?
Well, like I said, this question is for in person.
it's in person.
Personally, I would like to meet Captain Punjab because he was like one of the very first people I discovered on YouTube, and I would just like to thank him for, like, you know, I mean, granted, I know he may find those videos cringy as it's been eons since they were made, but I really enjoy them still. Just a lot of nostalgic memories and huge inspiration for wanting to make original Thomas stories.
What was your thoughts on Fancy Cuffs calling you Zelda during your brother's Breath of the Wild Twitch?
Okay, so this requires some preference. Who was it that originally asked the question?
Okay,
Either it was
I
you
was-
or Fancy Cuffs, but
I was the one who asked the question about which person within the stream would be the different fallen champions, and you named me Urburst.
yeah, I made you a birth. I know Tommy, I made him, crap, I forgot all their names now all of a sudden.
Didn't you make Tom Rivali?
Yeah, Rivali, the bird, yeah. And then, I had Fancy Cuff as, the Guru one.
Daruk?
Daruk, thank you. And then,
And
Mintha?
I forget the... Yeah, I think that's her
Mintha.
name, Mithra.
With, Phoenix.
No, that's... Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's right.
And then, out of the blue, Fancy Cuff just ended up saying Delmar was Zelda.
Why am I Zelda?
It's like, all of a sudden,
Good
that just...
question! Why are you Zelda?
I am not a flippin' princess.
Hey,
I'm
you're
the same
also
years.
not Robin. You're also not Robin Williams' daughter.
That's true.
You're no
True story,
Mrs.
yeah.
Doubtfire.
He actually named his kid after a video game. That's actually true. Look it up.
Yes, and it's pretty cool, especially the commercial for Ocarina of Time 3DS.
Oh gosh.
That was such a great commercial.
Beautiful.
Okay, wrapping up my questions. How would you feel if Neptune made it into Smash Bros. Ultimate as one of the fighter pass fighters?
I'll be asking a lot of questions, but I'll be here for that.
Let me just suggest, if we can have characters like Bayonetta in Smash Brothers, then I expect Doomslayer at some point.
Trust me, if Joker was able to get in, the gates are open.
Yeah, at that point you might as well say anybody's in.
With some exceptions, like no anime-based... Like, they have to strictly be video game.
Exactly, I agree.
Sakurai himself said that.
Yeah, like, I cannot stand people saying they want Goku in Smash.
Goku, Shrek,
For some reason, the
SpongeBob.
range... I mean,
Okay,
I get it's a running joke, but even still, that's kind of...
It gets old when people want to just do memes. It's like,
Okay, so
That's saying Undertale in Smash. Isn't that enough?
I ended up
Yeah.
before we go on to the next question, I actually ended up having a bit of a joke that I ended up telling Delmar during my birthday, and I thought I'd bring it up again. So, if you notice, 4 out of the 5 characters or companies, like Joker... Okay, what company was he from again? Joker
Atlas.
was... Joker's Atlas, Banjo-Kazooie's Microsoft, Terry's SNK, and the Hero Square Enix. For the, like, SMAS, that's 4 of the 5 letters in Smash. Does that mean the 5th fighter's gonna be Putt or Pajama Sam from Humongous Eat?
I'd watch it. I'd watch people play it because I don't know how to play Smash.
but I can't imagine Putt Putt. That seems... Putt Putt
Hey, if they can
beating
get a
up-
Piranha Plant to work, they can get Putt to work.
Hey,
He
Piranha
got you on
Plant
that
is
one.
a good fighter. He's one of my mains.
FBI Duck 211 asks, what's your favorite Thomas comedy?
Okay, I know in the past I said it's a better view for Gordon, and it's still a better view for Gordon, just because that was the one that really
That
kind
might
of
be my
started the
personal
Thomas
favorite, too.
comedy series, and like helping me learn like what I can do with the story to twist it around to make it something different, and everything.
Confess.
And
Confess.
yes, and then like I know I keep mentioning this, but season 2, that one, I'm really looking forward to it because my writing is definitely gonna be changing. It's definitely gonna be standing out and be different from season 1, which then again the last original one was made in 2014. So of course a lot has changed, but it's gonna be fun to make some more again.
Okay, this one's from Mergy S, and it's what inspired you to start the Delmar show.
Didn't you mention this a while ago?
I think so, yeah. It first started out with, like, I was a huge fan of nostalgia critic AVGN, JonTron and such, and I've always wanted to make my own review series, and that kind of, like, started out. Of course, granted, if you watch, like, the very first episode of Delmar show and compare it to, like my latest ones, it's like night and day of how it's less nostalgia critic, more me. I think that's the best way to go.
The next question comes from Goth Nerd. Will you ever do Thomas and Friends meets SMG4? Which I think that's basically Thomas and Friends meets internet memes.
And we've kind of done that already, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't you technically already do that in the second question marks?
Well, all the question mark series are just memes, practically. Just whatever, so... For me to do SMG4, that means I just have to slap SMG4's Mario in front of Thomas and just shout out spaghetti, and we call it a day.
I should one more thing is that if you guys want to do a Thomas and Friends meet of a certain YouTuber, then you can send a Word document of which Thomas clip you want to use, which audio or video clip from a certain YouTuber you want to put in, and email them to Delmar. Just include the timestamp, how you want Delmar to edit them, and he should be able to do it because he's been doing it for me a lot.
Oh gosh.
Delmar's been a genius when it comes to that field.
Oh dear, and now I'm gonna begin a workload. Thanks, doctor. I hope you'll get my medical bill soon. Are you opposed to my theory that Meta Runner is a crossover fanfiction between Birth of the True Story and Project G1? I don't know the theory. I haven't really seen a theory on it. Plus, I have not watched Project G1 because, like when it was released about a month ago after its original release, I listened to it. First audio was a scream, and it's like, nope, left, and I don't know anything about it.
I haven't even heard of any of those two, so I have no idea.
Pretty much think Thomas creepypasta such.
Whatever rides your rails, if you know what I mean.
One, I found like there were a lot of funny moments in that movie for me, like Duck and Older Transformers, basically. And then there was,
wait, what?
Then there was the whole what was the called where certain engines took on certain coal, and it was basically a drug addiction. And when it was creepy at first, like, oh man,
guys, you have no idea how confused you're making my brother confused of all the descriptions going on.
I'm like, what in the world? I mean,
he's getting an info dump.
Here's the thing, I've only been shown one creepypasta by Delmar showed me one creepypasta, and I have to say, I'm probably more disturbed by our friends that watched it with us than I am with the actual creepypasta.
Yeah, didn't he laugh at the very end where Thomas turned into a skeleton?
He died laughing, and I'm just like, I don't know if I should be creepy by the scene or creepy that he's laughing at that.
That should be a vlog of his own.
Honestly, sometimes honestly, I don't know what part about Shed 17 freaks me out more. Thomas turning into a skeleton or Gordon's eyeballs exploding?
Okay, I have a story to tell about the scariest part for me in Shed 17. It's actually at the start when, spoilers, Thomas gets hit by a train, when Thomas was actually a kid before he was turned into a train. And honestly, that part actually scared me more than anything else, because I remember, gosh, maybe 7 years ago, I was standing at the platform at a train station waiting for a train, and then this big train came along, and at first it looked like it was going really slow, but then the moment it passed me, it like, boom! Like I got hit by a gust of wind, and I was standing way too close at the edge of the platform.
Oh gosh! God.
I imagine you were scared shitless when that happened.
And I swear it looked like the train was going slow, but then I felt the wind, like, oh my god!
God, I hope you're alright.
Oh yeah, I'm fine now. But I think that gave me a flashback in Gen 17.
It's like I'm having Vietnam War flashbacks. Would you like to do a collab with Jeffrey Kitash? Who?
Jeffrey Kitsch. Jeffrey Kitsch. I think he did a few. Actually, let me look. Let me just.
The name doesn't ring a bell, Sprout.
I definitely haven't heard it.
He's a YouTuber who does reviews. He's this British guy in a bowler hat and a mustache who's done a few reviews. He's done a review of the Titfield Thunderbolt, and he's also done videos that compare episodes of Thomas and Friends with the original Railway series books. But he's also done reviews of the Postman Pat movie, Thomas and the Magic Railroad, and that weird Fireman Sam stage show they did a video on a couple of years.
Oh, okay. I now know who you're talking about. I haven't really seen his videos. I just seen like the thumbnail and such. Yeah.
You know what he reminds me of now?
What?
The bowler hat guy from Meet the Robertsons.
Oh, are you talking about Goob?
Oh gosh, he actually does.
I mean, the bowler hat's one thing, but the mustache, the way he's got it, literally looks like him, and it is funny, but at the same time, very creepily accurate.
I now want to see him do a Halloween cosplay of that.
Could someone post an image in the chat so that way I have a bit of an idea?
Oh, sure. Hold on here. I'll just send a link to you.
All right. Holy crap! You're.
Told ya!
It's basically just a Western goob.
I mean, no offense at all, but I'm just saying it's quite accurate.
Nothing in regards to bashing on this guy, but wow, is that uncanny.
As a Christian, are you offended by how God is represented in Amazingville's video game, The Mark of
Oxen?
Oxen?
What the
What's
heck's
that?
an oxen?
It's the plural form for ox.
Oh, I thought it was like poly oxen free or something.
They probably just spelled it weird.
I guess I never would have heard of this.
Neither have I.
And who's Amazing Phil?
I think we come back to me for questions. So moving on.
I'm sorry. I don't really know about the Mark of Oxen. So I'll try to like PM a message to you or something once I do find out. I don't know. Anyway, okay, Lucky, you go. Next person.
Okay, here are questions from Liger Tamer 100. Gosh! Idiot! Like, what are your thoughts on The Simpsons now being a Disney show?
Okay.
Should it really matter?
I really have, like, I have nothing against The Simpsons, but, like, the problem I have with Disney currently, they have way too many properties that is clouding up the image. Because when I think of Disney, I think of the animation, you know, Mickey Mouse, Cinderella, you know,
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh and such. When I think of Disney, now, I see so much identity crisis because they got Marvel, Star Wars, 20th Century Fox, and it's a shame that when I open the Disney Plus store and on the bar of selections, I see Simpsons. Look, that's not Disney. That's just not Disney. And
to mention they cropped them. They cropped them too much.
You're not going to be at the point of boycotting Disney, are you, Delmar?
No, I'll still like Disney. Like, I'm sort of now having like a hate and love thing with Disney. Like, I love the animation, creativity, the theme parks, but I can't deny that identity crisis is just getting way out of hand. And
look, Disney, we love you guys, but could you do us all a really big favor and stop buying everything? Sincerely, the world.
Also, get back to making more Muppets. I want more Muppets. No more Star Wars. No more Marvel. I think they're overrated. There, I said it.
I only got into Star Wars because of the Lego games. There, I
So
said
bring back the original Kermit. The reason you fired him was because he knew more about Kermit than you did.
Okay, now we're getting into serious territory here. Moving on! Okay.
Who do you think is better, angry video game nerd or nostalgia critic?
I prefer pizza.
Well, there you go. Moving on.
Okay, in all seriousness, it's hard because, again, it's hard for me to watch the content now just because I just lost interest in them. Nothing against Doug Walker or James Wolfe. They're both creative, wonderful people, and I would love to meet them in like a convention one day. But in terms of watching
is Doug still a wonderful person?
Yeah, someone would beg to say otherwise.
Well,
I don't know the stuff he did, but I have heard of it.
I don't know, but I would just like to at least meet them in a convention and thank them for inspiring me to make videos and such. But in terms of watching their content, it's like I just can't anymore. So, pizza party on me!
Yeah, just cheese pizza for me, please. Not really a toppings guy.
Do you have a favorite fighter in Smash Brothers?
Mr. Game & Watch. He's my main.
I was kind of thinking you'd say Piranha Plant because of what I mentioned earlier.
Well, I have many great characters I could play. Like, I know how to play as, like, Pac-Man, Mario, Rob, Mr. Game Watch is, like, my favorite. Black Crosses is Incineroar.
Yeah, I love Incineroar as a fighter, not as a Pokemon.
I only played Smash Brothers once, and I sucked at it.
I'm just gonna reserve that statement because I still want to be friends.
I can be your friend. I can be your friend. What are your thoughts on the Dark Crystal series? That one, oh my gosh. I mean, I like the movie, but I love the show. Like, me and Chris, when we watched it on Netflix, we got so hooked onto it. Like,
really badly hooked. It was awesome.
Like, I love the puppetry, the scenery, the world building. And granted, we know what happens at the end because it's a prequel series, but there was a lot of suspenseful moments. And this may be a bit of a spoiler, but there's one character on there I hate, and that's the Hunter Skeksis. I hate him!
Is it because he's the Hunter Skeksis?
Yes!
That and he just won't freaking die. He had like 3 times of a chance to die and he didn't die at all. Oakland Pacific Central asks, say yeet.
Yeet!
Okay, that was easy.
Yeet!
We are the knights who say yeet! 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 Yeet!
So here is the next question, is it me?
Yes.
Question the second. Do you want Thomas/Tugs crossovers?
I remember people asking this question to Miss Alter and Blossom.
Isn't he the Wilstonator now?
He's
This
the
was while
Wilstonator now.
This is while he was in his prime as Miss Alter and Blossom before he took down his Q&A videos.
Yeah,
Oh, he
yeah,
took
but
him
just-
down?
Yeah, but he... Yeah, just call... Look,
Aw.
just let him go by the Wilstonator. He's cool guy.
Okay, the Westernator it is. But we sort of
Next
already
question.
got there in the show with Big Mickey appearing, even though I have many problems with his introduction just out of the blue in New Crayon in the Dark, but that's for another story. But I don't really see, like, if we add more characters to a show that has so many characters, I think I'd be overwhelmed as much as I was overwhelmed now. But
I
that's just
honestly
me.
say we should ease up a bit. Like, I mean, granted, now that the Thomas and Friends series has gone global, it's gonna be kind of hard not to do that. What's your opinion on my channel?
I haven't really looked at your channel.
Whoopsie.
Hold on. I'll do a quick search up. I do apologize. Oakland crap. Okay, Central. I think I misspelled it. Dang it.
Copy and paste.
Oh yeah. There we go. Let's see.
hit my
So a
knee.
bunch of like model train videos and a lot of engines puffing. So I think it's a good channel. Granted, I need to. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Watch
about-
one.
Yeah, I'll watch one and then I'll PM you or personal message you. But everyone's channel's good. Everyone has a good channel.
So I think it's my turn now. Again, from Oakland Pacific Central. Why did you join the Thomas and Friends community? Is it fun? And what has it taught you about friendship and life?
I think it means like what I taught you. Probably, I think it is.
I was gonna go with brought,
Oh, brought? Oh,
but yeah, I think taught would probably be the better word to use.
actually, ironically, I had a comment like when I released my Thomas Friends Meets JonTron 4 last year. There was a comment on it that said, "I thought you left the Thomas and Friends community," and it's like I didn't really get majorly involved in the community. Like I make videos, but like aside from like voicing in the Thomas Creative Collab as Scruff, I don't think I've really done much in the community per se.
Your scrub voice is
Kidding,
still
you're
my
in my
headcanon
series.
voice.
What's the
Friend
best website for the Thomas community to hang out with random people? Soda Island forums?
Yeah, well, I'm not even a member of Soda Island forums, or I haven't like joined on them or something. But but what it has taught me about friendship and life is taught me, like, when I first discovered YouTube and saw that there were people around my age, making content and such, it taught me that there's no age limit to, like, liking anything. Like, you can be a fan of, like, Sesame Street. Like, you could be, like, 30 and still love it. Like, there's no age limit to, like, liking something. As long as it's just something that you really enjoy that makes you happy, then that's all that matters.
And that's even against the shortcomings.
I'm sure Will with Audrey may not be too happy about the way Thomas and Friends has been handled, but at least it still has a large fan community. A lot of people still check it out, kids, adults, so may not
Plus,
be
I'm pretty sure he'd honor the wishes about the character Arthur.
Oh yeah, like how Arthur is named after.
Arthur was named after this kid's deceased grandfather. I'm pretty sure Audrey would accept that and respect that. He seemed like a respectable kind of guy.
Yeah, I think that's something.
I mean,
really
if not
cool.
him, maybe his son, because he was making books around the same time.
Yeah. Anyway, next one. The Expert 07. Where is Thomas Comedies and the Magic Railroad?
Oh,
Hey,
boy,
you know
here
what?
we go.
You know what? If you think it's so easy, you make a movie, huh? You make a movie. Hey, when's your movie coming out? Are you gonna release your movie soon? Hey, I'm gonna keep asking you when your movie's coming out until it's out. Is it out yet? Is it out yet? Is it out yet?
Lachlan,
You see, it doesn't feel good, does it?
buddy, are you okay?
Lachlan, to be fair, this movie has been delayed more times than Cuphead.
I feel it best to quote something from Bible Man. Be patient. Your time will come soon enough.
Well,
If we can't perfect it by July 2020, then we'll just rush what we can to get it ready.
Yeah, it is kind of like, again, since now we got an idea for like the ending of part 2, we're working on that, and then we're working on part 3, and then part 4, getting that for again, and then finishing up part 5. So we are shooting for a 2020 release date. Really hoping for. So
Didn't you have to change some of the stuff up in that, though? Like the script?
We're keeping the script like it is because we just want it out. We just want it out. I want the stress to be gone from me.
It's gonna be fine. Just take
Daniel
your time.
doesn't have to worry about. Yeah, so Daniel only has to worry about doing new scenes. He doesn't have to worry about re-editing. I'm taking care of.
Here, I'm giving you a hug, Lachlan. I'm giving you a hug. Can you feel the hug? I'm not sure if you can or not.
Virtual hugs.
I'm gonna give you one.
Virtual hugs. Okay, moving on. We are close to the end. So next one.
What got you into Thomas and Friends?
Well, I could probably thank my Papa Charlie, or our Papa Charlie, because he loved trains and like, I know we had like a bunch of the VHSs and such. I just like
memory.
Yeah, so like it's really hard for me to say what specifically got me into the series.
I guess it was probably because from where I watched it whenever I was a kid, and then you just kind of latched onto it afterwards.
Yeah, and it's become so like that childhood friend that I always look forward to hearing new adventures from.
Hey Delmar, just a quick question. By any chance was your grandfather still around when the show ended up introducing Charlie?
No, he passed away around 2003.
Can you do a Thomas and Friends meets Markiplier?
We've
already
done that. Although, the Doctor, do you have a sequel in place for that, or?
I've had a couple of random jokes in mind. I'll say one joke I have planned is in Gordon Gets the Giggles that he's just laughing at Rebecca, and then cut to Markiplier where he's giggling, he's clearly laughing, and he runs out the door like, I gotta go!
I think I've seen that one.
Do you own any Thomas merch?
Any Thomas merchandise? Well, I have quite. Oh gosh! Now, Chris is laughing for some reason.
Last I checked, Daniel has a pretty decent wooden railway collection.
Yes,
Yeah, he has-
like I have a
he has
bunch
more
over
wooden
at
railway.
our mom's house, but in terms of what I brought over in the apartment, not much. Like I got a little display of like some of the wooden railway models, mostly next to like the very first and last railway series book on a display, and then I also found the Adventure Begins Thomas at a Kmart when they were closed, and I just thought that looked really cool, so I got that. It was the Taken play, I think.
I think it was Adventures because they were the ones that had the hook and loop.
I don't know about.
Not the push along.
I have no idea about what brand name it's called. First was Take Along, then Take Play Adventures, Trackmaster.
Trackmaster Push Along.
I just
Why
generalize
would
it all
you-
in diecast.
Why did you bother? Why would you go through the trouble of making the thing? The trouble of combining the two ranges, where you're making these choices to save money, and then
Okay.
you question why you're losing money. You see what the problem is, Mattel?
It's confusing.
Okay, my question is, if they wanted it to be so compatible, why didn't they just make the Trackmaster track the Superstation track? It would have saved you a lot more money.
So
I mean, that way, all your brands would fit on there. You wouldn't have to redesign the track of the wood. You wouldn't have to upscale the diecast into these chunky monstrosities.
I just gotta say the name of this guy out loud. Triple star plush for Plushinator. You are Plushinated.
I don't get it.
Plushinator.
I still don't get it.
Terminator, you are terminated.
Well, that just goes to show how much knowledge I have of that franchise.
I've only seen Terminator Salvation, and that's it.
I have not seen any of the Terminator movies, and even I get that reference.
The only
worry.
one I know of is Hasta la Vista, baby.
Don't worry,
Alright.
Alex. We'll be back with you.
And come with me if you want to live.
Just
Now we're talking about Terminator. I just want to say, Terminator Resistance is much better than the movie. And that's a video game.
I just read the questions now.
Yeah, get on with it.
Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it!
Get on with it. Get on with it.
Ah, okay, go, the doctor! Lead the way!
Okay, I'm asking this question, but I'm going to have to go because I'm doctor's appointment. So yes, the doctor's seeing a doctor.
Hey, I'll take over for you. If
Okay, so, okay, I'll just leave because, yeah, gonna get ready and head off. So,
the doctor has left the building.
doctor has left chat.
Alright, bye-bye, the doctor!
Bye.
Bye.
Pick up the total series if you want to. Take care.
Alright.
Bye! And then
Anyways,
number
I
4.
guess, what's your favorite movie to watch in your free time?
Oh, there's a lot. I can't say it. I know I watched it like we watched it like Robin Hood and Aristocats. Those two are like my favorite Disney
Ooh.
movies. And,
Classics.
just a lot of different movies. Well, actually, me and Chris, how many films do we have that we need to watch?
Over 10, I know that much.
I thought there was 20 if we count the ones on Netflix.
Oh dear lord, don't even bother. There's just a lot that we've been needing to catch up on that we have on our shelf that we've never even bothered watching yet.
So, we're gonna work on it soon. What motivates you to make videos? Okay, that one's actually a very rough question, because, like, there are days where I want to make a video, but I'm stuck there staring at a computer, and, like, actually, here's something that me and Chris has talked about time to time. Don't you hate it when you want to work on something on a computer, but instead of doing it, you're just mindlessly going to different sites you've visited countless times and not accomplishing anything? Don't you hate that? In terms of like the motivates, it's mostly like, you know, it's just a fun hobby. It's just a hobby that God blessed me with, and I love making random videos and seeing people's reactions, especially like Chris's reactions, and like when I was showing the doctor the rough draft for Thomas and Friends Meets Characters, and he was dying laughing at one of the jokes. Like I just loved hearing his laughter and such of how everyone reacted to the jokes. So that's something that motivates me very well.
I think my favorite part of that one was the puppet caress scene.
And today we'll be making pasta. Ah!
Guys, actually, with that being said, I have you were one of the people that helped to introduce me into Catechirus. You and Dex the Sweet.
Aww.
You know, I think some of the first Kid Icarus videos I ever saw were the ones where he was basically saying Peppa Pig sucks, and you know something? He's being too freaking nice.
Yeah, that show is absolute cancer. Okay, I actually have a bit of a playlist on YouTube where it's basically I have the Peppa Pig videos and then other videos that are in relation to it. So I basically describe it as Catechirus, the Peppa Pig cinematic universe.
Actually, if you want to see a show that's like Peppa Pig except it's actually good, there's a show called Bluey. It's an Australian cartoon, and in America, it's currently airing on Disney Junior.
Oh yeah, you mentioned something like that.
Okay, and now are we ready to move on to the next question?
Actually, one more thing about Peppa Pig that I find really sad. At our store in the toys aisle, there's more Peppa Pig products than there are Thomas products.
This is
That
true.
is a crime against humanity!
I'm just
Yeah, I
saying
agree.
that is sad. It's sad, but I'm just speaking the truth.
Yeah, but you know what? That's Mattel's fault for distributing Thomas poorly.
Amen to that. Anyway, what's
Damn
your
straight.
favorite funny movie part? Oh boy, there's
a lot.
Movie part.
like
You mean like a certain section of a movie?
Yeah, like a scene of a movie.
Yeah, like for example, one of my favorites is, have any of you ever seen Austin Powers Goldmember?
Yes.
I think we owned the DVD of it once.
I have two favorite scenes in that movie. One, where they keep misreading the subtitles to think, where there's something blocking the subtitles of this Japanese guy, and so Austin keeps thinking he's saying something dirty, and it's not what he's saying. And then he just says, okay, why don't I just speak in English?
I remember that.
I actually have a similar story. Has anyone here seen Igor before?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love that
yeah,
one.
I've seen it.
Yeah, underrated treasure. But that aside, there was a certain scene where after Dr. Lichtenstein gets destroyed by the rocket, Igor basically brings his two buddies, Brain and Scamper. Which, fun fact, side tangent, Scamper the rabbit, he's voiced by the same person who voices Randall from Monsters, Inc. This was around the time when the scene where they were showing off the constructing phase for Eva, and then they're just staring horror, and then Igor's like, I know, right? And she's not even done yet.
And I know. One more scene in Austin Powers Goldmember that I loved was the bit where they crash the car into the back of a giant dinosaur float, and they're going down the street, and the two guys are like, "Run! It's Godzilla!" It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not. Still, we should run like it is Godzilla, though it isn't.
Oh yeah, that was funny. For me,
Okay, that kind of...
Yeah. Sorry, we keep interrupting. You answer, Daniel.
Yeah.
for me, gosh, there's too many. Okay, the one that I'm thinking the first, and this is technically not even a movie; it's a cartoon, but in it, it's
count.
this is one Mickey Mouse cartoon with Mickey and Minnie, they're rowing in Venice or something, and Minnie's like, Mickey, I wrote you a love song, and you see Mickey making this ridiculous face going, what? And an explosion happens behind him.
The same thing with me, and funny enough, it's also the same cartoon series. My favorite scene is whenever it's involving Mickey Minnie, and Mickey shows up to Minnie's apartment, and she's like, "Oh, Mickey, you're how many?
3 hours early?
Yeah, you're 3 hours early." And Mickey's like, "Oh, you know, I'm just obsessed with you." At that point, I just broke. I mean, the face alone was hilarious, but the way he said that, "I'm just obsessed with you."
I swear, if I ever get a girlfriend, I want to do that and see what happens. Like, I'll show to her house and like, Daniel, you're 3 hours early. Or, I'm just obsessed with you, and see what happens.
And you would not have a girlfriend by the end of
that comment wouldn't be for the faint of heart.
Well, hopefully she at least knows about the Mickey Mouse cartoons to get the joke, obviously.
Obviously, I bet, obviously the ideal girlfriend for you would be a fellow nerd.
Moving on, we're almost at the end. So the last question from Triple Star Plush, the Plushinator. What inspired you to become a YouTuber? It's sort of the same with kind of a combined efforts of a lot of different YouTubers, like from many of the early Thomas community members like Captain Punjab, Combine Harvester 01, the Wilstonator, Johnny Turner, and then from like Nostalgia Critic, AVGN, JonTron, just a lot of different people inspired me to become a YouTuber. Plus also one thing I found really fascinating with YouTube is that anyone can make a video. Like, I know some people may not believe in this philosophy of YouTube, but like I still believe in the slogan broadcast yourself, that like you don't have to have like a college degree or high events in video making to make a video. You could just be yourself and do whatever you want to on there, and that's something I really love about YouTube there.
YouTube allows you to express yourself in any way you want, as long as you don't express yourself in any way you want. YouTube's been screwing with its audience lately.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I say not much people will say it's about broadcasting yourself, but I still feel like there's a small part about that still exists on YouTube.
Instead of YouTube broadcast yourself, it's just YouTube.
And?
YouTube!
And they don't have their slogan. They don't have a slogan anymore, do they?
When did they get rid of the broadcast yourself?
How long ago has it been? I know it was before I joined at YouTube again.
Yeah, I think it was long before I joined YouTube as well. Like, I joined in 2014.
Okay, for this one, for the last batch of questions, I'm just gonna go down a straight line, considering I can answer these pretty easily. So, by... how do you go by?
Roy BFF.
Roy best friend forever. Okay, so I'm gonna go down these questions quickly. What is your opinion on seasons 22 and 23 of Thomas and Friends, aka Big World, Big Adventures? They're alright. They're not as good as seasons 20, but they have some enjoyable episodes, even though there's some flaws here and there. What is your favorite TTTE episode? Crap, that's a hard one. I'm making some best episode list here soon, so it's gotta be hard, but like, I could list off 5, or try to list off 5 episodes. There's Henry...
One eternity later.
Thank you. Henry gets the express tit for tat. Henry's Forest. Come on, think brain. Thomas saves the day from season 8, and then Chuckle Some Trucks, because that was really funny. Again, I love Rebecca. She's like the best character. What are your favorite Thomas and Friends characters? There's Henry, Scruff.
You were gonna say Henry?
I always said Henry. Oh, Henry again.
Am I gonna be shunned if I say that I like Ferdinand?
Have a drink.
Okay, I may be 21, but I kind of want to stay away from alcoholic at all costs.
Oh no, it's not an alcoholic drink. It's
water.
Yeah, to reflect on your choices.
This isn't
it's water.
Like, is it
with cool-looking bubbles in it?
But in all seriousness, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with liking Ferdinand. That's what the other characters. Henrietta, Duncan, Scarlatti, and Edward. There's a lot of great characters. That should be a vlog of his own now that I think about it. And then finally, what is your favorite Thomas and Friends special / movie? Tell of the Brave, because I really love the message in that one. It has great pacing, great characters, and a great story. So, there you go. We did it, boys! We made it to
That's
the
all.
end!
We all the questions. Actually, wait, there is one more question that you missed.
Wait, there was? What's that?
Wasn't there a question you were gonna ask?
Yes, and that question is: have you watched Harvey Beaks?
How did I not know that was gonna be a question? Ironically, what I thought was kind of cool, Lucky here sent me in the mail some homemade DVDs that featured the whole first season of Harvey Beaks, was it?
If any lawyers are watching, if any lawyers are watching it, I made exactly $0.00 off of making these DVDs, and I only make them for my personal entertainment. But I only just sometimes make enough copies for my friends. Okay?
Yeah, don't worry. He's not one of those illegal, like, what are you buying, what are you selling kind of things. Like, he's not one of those, but
He's not a lefty. He's not a lefty.
yeah, he's not. Thank you.
I just personally believe that if you have the box set, it's easier to binge watch it.
That is true.
Having said that, Daniel,
Well, I still.
have you?
Well, unfortunately, due to Disney Plus, we've been rewatching like a lot of old cartoons, like Timon and Pumbaa.
I was actually gonna ask if you had Disney Plus.
We do.
Yeah, like that's how Grover's watching the Muppets right now. It's like not the Muppet Show, unfortunately. Get your act together, Disney. But the ABC Muppet series, and
I was about to ask. There are, and I was just about to say, there's Muppets. Oh, there's Muppets on Disney Plus.
Yeah, they got most of the movies except for Muppets from Space and the Muppets Take Manhattan, but that's because of distribution rights. And then they didn't have like the Muppet Show or Muppets Tonight on there, so they need to get their act together.
I think.
What about
Muppets
Muppets
Tonight's a bit
Sex and
underrated.
Violence?
No, they don't have that one.
I'm not surprised, based on the title.
It's not that bad. It's not like super violent or super sexy or anything like that.
It's not Ren and Stimpy Adult Party.
You think it was?
No one should go through that.
Let's just all agree that John Kay is a terrible person who just so happened to make a good cartoon. But also, Delmar, I'm assuming this means you have not watched it yet.
Not yet, unfortunately, but I need to get to it.
Okay, I forgive you, but there is one thing I gotta say.
What's that?
Got 3 days. Nah, you don't. Watch it whenever you can.
Ironically, I'm actually gonna be on vacation this week, so I should at least get through disc 1.
Well, I guess that's the Q&A then, is
Yep,
it?
that does
That's
it.
all the
so-
time we have for today, kids. So remember, God made you special, and He loves you very much.
Goodbye. But also,
Bye.
thank you guys for watching this. I know there was a few questions I did mess up on, like I never heard about the mark of oxen, and then yucking up everyone's, like, when people comment on what do you think of my channel, it's like it's hard for me to watch all the channels because I get distracted very easily. Oh, a pop-up ad, sweet. Oh wait, never mind. Back to this. But it's still fun to answer these questions that you guys can learn a little bit about me that I haven't mentioned before, and plus it's fun getting to be on Discord with all my good friends and such, making fools of ourselves and just having a wonderful time.
Still feel so honored to be a part of your crew.
Yeah, we're just one big happy family, except many of us are miles and countries away from each other.
I think you and I are about the closest to each other, because...
I got you guys beat. I'm practically a few centimeters from him.
I mean, you're not wrong. You did give one brother.
I mean, we're
It's
like
funny because it's true.
we're like brothers, only closer.
I thought you were brothers.
We are brothers, but I just want to do that joke from SpongeBob. So, anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching this Q&A video. God bless you, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye! Bye.
Have a
Everybody.
super mega sacrifice on Monday.
See you, folks.